Ahoy there, mateys! It's the Game Boy Geek here. Today, we're going to be pirates on our ships, cruising on the ocean, trying to destroy and shoot cannons at other players' ships. Today, we're taking a look at Pirate Attack. This is from What the Fun Games. It's currently on Kickstarter right now, seeking funding. It plays 3 to 10 players. Let me show you how it's played. I'll see you on the other side. Arr. Now, Pirate Attack is a card game where you're trying to be the last person with ships and the last one standing. You will have 5 cards most of the game that you'll be able to choose from. These will be in your hand. I've got them face down right now. At the beginning of the game, you will start with 5 cards, and you might have some gold cards in front of you through a semi-random setup. Now, the turn structure is very simple. There's 3 separate piles out there. You'll simply draw a card from one of these, and then you'll play one. If you can't play one, then you'll discard one, and it will be the next player's turn. Now, if the card you draw has a purple background like this gold, you would place it down in front of you face up with all the other gold, and then you would draw another card. Let's say we draw a card, which would be our 6th, and then we decide which one to play. I'm going to go over what all the different cards do. Now, you could play a ship on your turn, and when you do so, it tells you things about it. For example, this one is called a 3-4 sloop because it has 3 cannons and 4 strength. Now, that's one of the weaker ships in the game. You're only playing one on your turn here, but you could play one as strong as a 10-10 Brigantine. Now, this has 10 cannons and 10 strength, and this is the most powerful ship in the base game, and this is one of the more weaker ones, but the ships are how you're going to attack other people throughout the game. Now, again, you're only playing one card on your turn, but you may have these different ones to play. The Blacksmith, there's a lazy one and a skilled one, and these cards can go under any ship in the game, yours or another player's. The lazy Blacksmith makes it worse 1 cannon, where the skilled Blacksmith makes it better 3 cannons. A lazy Carpenter makes it worse 1 strength, and a skilled Carpenter makes it plus 1 strength. And there's different cards of these like this, and basically you would be playing one of these from your hand, and maybe I wanted to make, this was my ship, and I wanted to make it stronger. I would play this always face down under a ship, and again, you're placing this on any of your ships or anyone else's ship. You can play a spy to pick a player, look at their hand, and take a card from them, unless that player has a spy card and can react and play it to block that spy card. If that happened, both of these would be discarded, and the player that played it in a reaction form would be able to draw a card to replace it. If you play the Thieving Monkey card, one player lays his cards face down and you randomly take one from them unless they have the knife that can kill the Thieving Monkey. If that's the case, it blocks this. Both of them get discarded. Whoever played the knife gets to draw another card. Now, you can play a Thief card to choose a player and steal half their gold, round it up. Or if you didn't have this card, you could have a better one, which is Thief All, where you would steal all their gold. Unless the player who you're playing that against has the guard card, it would block the thief. Both these cards would be discarded, and the player who blocked it with the guard would draw another card. You can play the High Winds card, which allows you to discard your complete hand and draw 5 cards, or to make somebody else do the same. Now, as you're placing ships over the course of the game, you have to say where they go. You can put them on the ends, you can put them in between, but you can never move the ones that are already there. Now, when you have 2 ships like that, on your turn, you can play an Armada card that essentially combines these ships when you fight as one. Now, on another player's turn, they can try to attack this ship in many different ways. One of the ways is they can play a sea creature on it. Even if it's in an Armada, this sea creature only attacks this one ship. Now, here we have a strength of 4. We would take any cards that were underneath it. We'll show you some more of those later. This is plus 3 cannons. Well, when the sea creature goes against the ship, it only looks at the strength. So if the attack strength, which is 4, equals or is more than this, then that ship is sunk. The player who sunk it, there's basically an optionally way to play the game with fame points. They would collect a chip for however many fame points that were there. Now, here are the different sea creatures that are in the game. Everything from a shark all the way to a giant sea worm, ranging from 4 all the way to 10 in the attack levels. Now, there we showed some cards that were underneath the ship, and there's other cards that you can attach to ships, like the Witch Doctors and such. Now, how you get one of these 2 cards is at the beginning of the game, there is a sale at the market for 5 gold for a card, so you can spend gold to buy it. Now on your turn, you can play a card that might make things cheaper. Maybe it's 2 gold. You can also make things much more expensive for other people, like 10 gold, or you can actually even close the market so nobody can buy it. But if you're able to afford it, you can use these Fortune Teller and Witch Doctor cards on ships. Let me show you. Now how these Witch Doctor cards work is when you buy one, you get to look at it secretly, and then you would place it on a ship, usually on somebody else's ship. Then when this ship is attacked, this gets flipped over. And for example, it's the poison. Your ship crew is sick and they cannot fight, you lose the battle. Now earlier, this player might have bought the Fortune Teller card. When you buy these cards, you get to look at them, and then you place them face down in your area near your gold. Then when something bad happens with the Witch Doctor cards, you might have one that negates it, like the antidote cures the poison. Now here are some of the other Witch Doctor cards: Fire, Mutiny, Storm, Black Plague, and above them the cards that negate them from the Fortune Tellers: Water Bucket, Talking Parrot, Navigator, and Vaccine. Now you're probably getting used to the flavor of the game. There's a card you might be able to play, a normal card for your turn that you would play that steals all Fortune Teller cards from all players, or you might want to play one that says move a Witch Doctor from one ship to any other ship. Now when drawing at the beginning of your turn, if you pull up one of these red scroll cards, you have to play it immediately and that's your turn. You must attack someone. Or maybe forces 2 players to attack each other and you choose which 2 are fighting. Or choose someone to attack a player of their choice. And this makes the game very aggressive. Now when ships fight, these are 2 different players, this ship is fighting this ship, we would have turned over any possible Witch Doctor cards that we saw before, and then people can react with those Fortune Teller cards. We would flip over any of the underneath cards that we showed earlier, like a Carpenter, and then they would fight. This has 5 cannons, this has 4 strength, plus 1, 5 strength. The cannons have to at least equal the strength, if so, this ship is going down. But we checked both ships. This one has 3 cannons and 6 strength, so it does not beat it. So in this case, this ship would have sunk in this ship, and if you're playing with the optional fame points, they would have gotten 1 fame point, and they will get a gold card from the gold deck. Now it's possible for neither of them to be defeated, both of them to be defeated, or one of them. Any of those 3 things could happen. Now this will continue until the last of the cards in the draw decks gets taken. At that point, if you have a card, you must play it. If you have no cards, you must attack. And then it will get down to the point where people have no ships and no cards and they are out. Then that person will win. Sometimes it's possible for people to have 2 ships left and for some reason they just can't kill each other, and at that point they both win. But it's also possible that they both kill each other and nobody wins. And again, if you're playing with the fame points, you could just play to a certain limit of fame points, or you could play for a certain amount of time, and then whoever has the most fame points then wins. There's all sorts of ways in the rules to play the game in a different amount of time. Now the game comes with up to 6 different expansion modules that you can add on to the Kickstarter. The first one is called a Magic Shop, and it allows you to double your ships, cannons or strengths, reincarnate ships, confuse where ships are attacking. The second expansion, also 50 cards, called Raise the Dead, adds bigger ships, cards to steal these Magic Shop cards, more sea creatures, larger royal navies, some Raise the Dead cards, you can duplicate a ship, and more. The third one is Misdirection, also 50 cards, adds more sea creatures, whirlpools, windstorms, and exploding canyons, and more misdirections. The fourth one, called Walk the Plank, actually comes with 100 cards and 2 dice. Now, they have, basically adds another ship, adds some Walk the Plank, some traps, smoke screens, power plays, all different ways to mess with your buddies. The 5th expansion pack is another 100 cards, and it comes with a chip. It's called the Tavern, and it gives you a whole new way to deal with the market. You can bribe a drunk sailor into telling you secrets and some info. You can add cannons and strength to all your ships. You can make someone lose all their gold. You can give ships a Witch Doctor, and more. The last one is called Special Abilities, comes with 50 cards and 2 dice, and essentially you sell your soul, but you get special abilities. For example, you can get where no ship's bigger than a 7/7. Basically, you can get overcharged at the market. You can get no gold when killing a ship. Essentially, just gives you special abilities in the game, and all of these are available either individually or as a set in the add-ons in the Kickstarter. So as you can tell from the overview, this game is a pretty fun, light, aggressive, and messing with your buddies type of game. It's one of those games you get around the table, you're laughing a lot, you're casually playing it, you're throwing cards to play on each other, to mess each other over. You're hoping that you have the right card to defend what they're trying to do to you. Maybe you're throwing some witch doctors on their ship, and you're hoping they don't have the right fortune teller to negate it, and so on and so forth. You're trying to destroy each other's ships, force people to attack each other, and you're trying to be the last man standing. So if you like those types of games, I'm sure the people at What the Fun would love your support. This game is on Kickstarter right now. You can click the link in the description of this video below me. You'll be brought right to the Kickstarter page where you can make your pledge.